Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we are gonna be messing with an old server up here. Well, it's not that old, but it's an awesome server. It's the Lenovo /IBM x3650 Model 2. That's why it's an older server, it's the Model 2. We also have the Model 3, the Model 4, number 5, and the brand new SR650, but today we're gonna be messing with the Model 2. Just because it's more of a home mess with server. The Model 2 is very close to the Model 3, so either one will do the same thing. They're very closely related. So I bought this interesting card here that is on the table from Bargain Hardware, and yeah, therefore Bargain Hardware is kind of sponsoring this video in the regards that well, if you go and buy anything on Bargain Hardware and check out with the coupon code MyPlayHouse, small letters all the way, you get 5% off. So I did that. We did a video where I showed that I did that, and we got this, which is it's a flash acceleration card. This card, it has 400 gigabytes of storage on it, and it's kind of an oldie. It's dated back to 2012. It said that somewhere. Doesn't really matter, but it's an older card. So these are available for not that much money. There are newer stuff available these days. Like I did videos on this card, which is a tiny little PCIe Express card X4, and you can put your NVMe. That's an M.2 NVMe, and that's an M.2 SSD. And you can put that on a tiny little card like this, and they kind of do the same thing, but this is more enterprise level. Let's go have a closer look. So here it is. It came in this package from Bargain Hardware in the UK. So and it came in this plastic thing. I wonder where they get that. It looks very well customized to this little card, which is kind of awesome. Oh, I got a spider in mine. It must be web-based then. Get out of there. Cool. And of course I got an invoice. So that goes right to accounting, of course. So this is the card. And what it is, well, this one is Oracle branded right there. But this is not an Oracle card. This is actually an LSI card. They made it, and LSI has their own version of this, and they are completely alike. Except LSI has some branding on here. I'll throw that over here. I forget what it's called, but this is the F40 from Oracle. And yeah, what it is, it's more or less, it's an HBA. Not a RAID card, but an HBA. And on that HBA, they have put, we can kind of see them in here, they have put 4 SSDs in there. There's an SSD there, there's an SSD there, and there. Yeah, at the time they were really fast. Nowadays they are more like normal. Kind of has 4 SSDs. It doesn't do anything RAID related to them. It just gives access to those SSDs, and then the software does the rest. So this card is more or less just meant to give the server access to 4 fast SSDs. I am really curious. I would like to try and take that apart. Can I do that? Would that be stupid? Nah, let's not do that. Yeah, let's do that. It's a pain to be this curious, right? But I removed the screws from the back one here, so now we can take that off, and we can kind of see how this looks. And yeah, how's that coming? Take this out, maybe? I'm not sure how to do that. Okay, so obvious how that comes out. And how it attaches to the system board down there. I'm guessing there is a connection down there, but they haven't made much room for it. Oh, there's screws on the bottom as well. I think we need to torques. Really? Okay, we're gonna leave it there, I guess. But there are 4 SSDs like that. Flash something. Sandforce, and there are Toshiba chips. Yeah, okay. Guess there's 4 of those. on small connections. Dear, how did that suddenly come apart? And we can kind of see the LSI down here. They underneath the chips, it's branded and it's a 6 gigabit SAS thingy. So, and there is a tiny little connector down there that goes up to a connector here and connects 2 of these. So yeah, okay, now I'm gonna put it back together. Okay, it's back together. Bargain Hardware had quite a few of these for sale. I just got one. They had at the time being they had 85 of these cards on sale on their homepage, and yeah, that's kind of why I got one, because I found these interesting. What can this do? So today we're gonna put it in a server that I won, and I powered it up. It has server 2016 on it, so we can power it down, put in that card, and we can kind of see this card in Windows. So that's the general idea. Let's do that. I have disconnected everything. What the fuck? Guess I haven't broken that thing down. So I see in this server that we need to make some room. I have the riser cards here, and they are occupied. The server has some cards in it. I'm also gonna run into the trouble of the bracket that's on that card is a short one, and we need a longer one. But first, let's take out this. These are fiber channel cards, 4 gigabit fiber channel cards, and I am gonna add them to my little shop. If you don't know, I am building a web shop to get rid of some of the excess stuff that I have here. We also have some network cards here, Intel dual 1 gigabit network cards like that. They are also not needed in this server. I'm not gonna have anything in this slot. We're gonna put it in the other slot over there. This riser card is for the second CPU. This one over here is for the first CPU. The server has both CPUs. It will work on both of them. We need to do a little bit more modifying here. I do actually have an LSI RAID card here, and the bracket here has the same spacing as on this card, and these cards looks rather similar. So yeah, okay, they have moved stuff around, but this is also an LSI card. But I found that, well, this card has 3 LEDs out here. 1, 2, 3 LEDs that goes onto some LEDs on the board down here. That's not gonna work for me, is it? I'm gonna lose those 3 LEDs. But if I have this bracket, which I found, which is also from, I can kind of see the LEDs through there, because somebody has put a hole right there. So I think that might work for me, and I need to save this bracket so that it doesn't go too far away. But let's put this on and see how that works. Yeah, I guess that isn't too stupid. It looks like that. There's a big hole in here. You can get a finger in there. Unfortunately, it's not as if there's a reset button or anything. You can kind of see the LEDs through there. I have no idea yet what those LEDs are. And I found some brackets for the empty spots. We're gonna put those in. You can kind of see that this bracket that we took out, they put plastic in there so that the LEDs will light through the plastic. So yeah, I'm gonna save this one. That's for this card. Okay, I put the card in this riser here. It's an X8, which is also what the riser is. It looks kind of good. I have this open slot down there, and as they have put these big heat sinks on here, I'm expecting that it might be slightly warm. So we're gonna cover up this part with this bracket here. So we're gonna put that bracket in with this bracket here. And so now the air has to go through as close to the card as possible. So that is a plus. So let's put that in. Looks kind of cool, right? So now we can put the cover back on. Can we? I think so. I think we're good to go. Let's put the cover back on. And this time make sure that that's down. Click. Blinking very rapidly right now. That means that the IMM in this server is booting up. Now it's blinking more slow, So means that the IMM is kind of booted and I can now turn the server on. It might still be very noisy if the IMM is not done booting. And if the IMM is done booting, it will be slightly less noisy starting it up. So this is what it sounds like when the IMM has booted and it's ready to just do a normal boot. If you have had power off the server and you just turn it on, it will be very noisy, and then when power has been onto the server for a while and the IMM is ready, well, it kind of knows what the system is doing, so it knows how much to cool it, and therefore it turns down the fans down to where it should be. Of course, if you're in Saudi Arabia and in the middle of the desert, well, it will be noisy as heck. So these IBM System X x3650 Model 2s are not that new anymore, let's say that nicely, but they are really cheap on bargain hardware. So the starting price of a server like this is like £20. That's a completely empty server, and then you build on that. We kind of saw that in a previous video, and I might do another video where we build a server like that, like this, and put some CPUs in it, some RAM, and maybe, well, that's about it, power supplies maybe. So yeah, we're booting. I were really expecting that it would pop up and tell me that it had this awesome HBA and it saw 4 drives and stuff. It did not do that, so let's hope for the best when we get in here. We're in. Let's see if we see the hardware. Let's see, device manager. Oh, consider changing your password. I will consider that. Your password expires today. Ah, crap. So what do we see here? Hard drives. Oh, it sees a RAID controller. Storage. It sees another RAID controller. Microsoft Storage Space controller. See some ATA channel 1, channel 0, channel 1. Do we see any drives? Not really. So it doesn't just work out of the box. So it's the next day. I gave up on this yesterday. Plus I had some other things that I had to do, and I'm still scratching my head why this doesn't show up anywhere. So I'm in the BIOS, and let's see what we don't see there. So my first thought was that I had those 4 cards in there that I did not use. So maybe I had at some point went into the BIOS and disabled those because I didn't need them and I didn't want them to use power or something. So that would be in here, device IO, and we can down here disable or enable or disable onboard devices, and everything is good. Everything is enabled and good. There is the SAS controller, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4 PCI slots, and everything is enabled. Then there is enable, disable, different stuff in here. There is also those slots. Let's just see, everything is enabled. It's in slot 1, by the way. Everything is enabled, so it's not in there either. And on this Model 2 there is an UEFI BIOS, so it can see stuff that is in the server. In here it sees available adapters and drivers there, and it does not see anything. We do have an LSI SAS driver down here, but that is the other card. That's the server Mega RAID. That's also an LSI. There, that's the IBM Server RAID MR10i. So that's not where we need to go. Okay, I'm rather confused. So I took the card out of the server and I've staged my well, it's my PC. You could call it a gaming PC, but I don't play computer games, so it's just the powerful PC I have that I never use. So I'm gonna try and put the card in there. So I have turned it on and I just went into well, this is a Danish version of Windows 10, so it's called Enhedshåndtering. It's device management. So I was going to see what was in here. There's a Microsoft thingy, and there's a standard controller for the NVMe drives. There are an NVMe drive in here, and there is an SSD as well. We can kind of see them under disk drives there. So if we can get it working in here, we can even compare it to something else. So I'll try and put that in. So I turn it off and I put the card down here, besides the graphics card, which I do not remember what is. I did a video building this PC, so I got a Xeon processor for it. I since replaced that Xeon processor and put the good Xeon processor out in a server. It's still a good Xeon processor that is in here. It's a version 4 of the x3650 series, but now we have the card down here. I removed the bracket, so now it's just sitting there, and in this setup it's probably going to be perfectly fine because it's sitting on itself. Let's power this and see if we get any different results. I see right away that we have LEDs lighting up now. We did not have that before, or I couldn't see them before. Yeah, those LEDs did not light up before. Oh, and we have the Seagate WarpDrive right there. Oh, that means that server does not see it at all. I think we are lucky now, but I'm a bit confused why it doesn't work out in the other server, to say the least. Yeah, we have an LSI WarpDrive solid state storage. Everything is in Danish. I am so sorry. Yeah, we get 4 new drives here, and team viewer is blah blah. Go away. To do something cool, we should probably set those 4 drives up in a RAID 0. Yeah, we can start by initializing those drives. GPT. We are not gonna be booting on those. Oh, I am not used to this in Danish. What is that? Okay, I'll figure this out. I'll do a RAID 0. So we are formatting at the moment. I wonder how long that's gonna take. It's still formatting. Somehow I picked the slow way. So yeah, it's taking a little bit. In the meanwhile, I've connected the computer to some network and I copied over some disk testing, Crystal Disk Mark and HD Tune. I don't know if they're any good, but we're gonna try them out. They're over there. Okay, it's done formatting and I have run the speed tests. Over here we have Crystal Disk Mark, and over here we have HD Tune, old version 2.55. But we see pretty clearly that, well, we get about 480 megabytes per second read speed on that RAID 0. Funny enough, this program was able to test the 4 drives in that RAID. The HD Tune had to pick one of the 4 drives in there. It did not see it as a combined thing, but decent. This is a 2012 system. This card is rather old, so yeah, we get about 400 megabytes per second sequential read, and then we get about 140 write. Yeah, it goes down from there. And over here we get an average of about 244 megabytes per second of transfer speed. And these numbers look decent until you compare them to other drives. So I do actually have the SSDs in here as well. This is the Samsung 850 SSD that I have in there. We can kind of see that the read speed, well, that's very compatible. But then when we go to the write speed, well, the Samsung beats this by a long shot. And also when we go down, well, the write speed are way better on the Samsung than they are on the F40 Seagate WarpDrive. Fancy name. And over here we do also get some higher output, but it's really not that bad. It's not that big of a difference, but we do get 400 gigabytes here, where this is a 250 gigabyte. This is also kind of old, but where it really gets to look slow is when we compare it with that NVMe drive that I also have in this computer. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that because this makes it just look old. This is a Samsung Evo 970, it says it right there, NVMe drive. Here we get almost 1.9 gigabyte per second read speed and over 2 gigabytes per second write speed. And these numbers down here are just way better than up here. Maybe except this one, that's kind of similar. Also over here we get about 600 megabytes per second average, so that's over twice as fast as this one. So would I recommend getting this? I don't know. I had a lot of trouble, it wouldn't see it up in the server. If you're way smarter than me and know what I did wrong up there, I would love to read that in the comments. And that also goes for everybody else who wondered why this didn't show up in the server up there. Maybe go check the comments. There are always some of you that are way smarter than me. So maybe someone will suggest why this wouldn't work up there. Yeah, I don't have any clue right now, but time has probably passed this in regards to how quick it is. There is some endurance in this. It's you kind of saw that it was the individual SSD showed up to have 93 gigabytes of storage, so it looks like that someone has altered this drive so that to extend the lifespan instead of having the maximum capacity. This drive might still be very good as a lock drive or something where you need a lot of read and writes over time, where a normal cheap, well, and then of course these aren't that cheap, SSD would wear out. Well, this might last years and years and years instead, because of it's still enterprise level equipment, so it should probably last a long time. But if you're just going for the speed, and I would probably go for a card like this. It's just a tiny little bit of a PCB, and you can put an NVMe drive on there, and you can put an M.2 SSD on there. The M.2 SSD goes, you plug in an SATA cable here and down to the system board. The other one gets the signal. Well, I've done more than one video on this, so I'll advertise those a little bit. If you for some weird reason want to play with this anyway, remember that it's available at Bargain Hardware, and you get 5% off if you check out with the code MyPlayHouse, small letters. I'm not gonna recommend you to go buy this because, yeah, I don't see why you should get this. I'm gonna read the comments, and if someone suggests why this didn't work in the server, we're gonna try that again. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. Please give this video a like, it helps, and have a nice day. Bye bye.